Hi everybody and welcome to today's class. We are going to start with a roll down. So when you're ready, taking a deep breath in, out, bringing your chin towards your chest and slowly rolling down towards the floor. Think about making your head as heavy as possible. Let the arms dangle down freely, relax the shoulders. You can gently shake your head towards the side as we start to prepare to roll up. Think about building that spine back up, vertebra by vertebra, and the head comes up last. Inhaling here, take 3 large rolls of the shoulders backwards, as large as you can, whilst taking deep breaths in and out. Now you can turn your head towards the left side, looking over that left shoulder, and then after taking a breath in, do the same on the opposite side. We are starting today's class with some standing work, so you want to take your Pilates block lengthways so that you can fit your foot on the block. If your foot is longer than the block, focus on making sure that your heel is on the block and then stand up on it. Flex the foot that is free, that is, bring your toes up, and we want to get some movement through the pelvis. So we're going to dip our hips down so that we bring that right heel towards the ground, and then dipping our hips back up, we bring that foot back up. Importantly here, we are not bending the left leg to bring ourselves down towards the ground. This movement is solely happening from the hips, as you can see me demonstrating here with my fingers on my pelvic bones. 2 more here, raising back up. Last one, dip down and back up. What we are going to do now is point the toe and bring it in front of you with the leg straight, and imagine we're drawing a semicircle on the ground, bringing that foot towards the side and then behind you, and doing the same thing, bringing it forward. If you're struggling with your balance, you can trace your big toe on the floor. If you have good balance, try and lift that toe up off the ground. 1 more here towards the back, and we can swap feet. Bring your right foot on top of the block. We're going to start again with the pelvic tilts. Bring the left heel down towards the ground whilst keeping that right leg straight. All of the movement should be coming from the hips. We have a few more here. Remember to keep pushing into the heel of the foot that is on the block. And now we are going to get ready to point that left toe, and as we did previously, drawing the semicircle on the ground. If available to you, keep that foot or that toe off the ground. If not, you can trace the big toe lightly on the ground. 1 more here. Bring that semicircle back. And we're done. You can step off the block. For the next exercise, we will be lunging. I'm turning to the side so that you can see how I place my foot and my knee. The most important part is that your heel is on the block. It doesn't matter if your toes hang over. When we lunge down, you don't want your knee to pass the toes. Instead, you want to make sure that the movement is going up and down. We are going to start with some step back, so making sure you're pressing through that heel. Step backwards with the right foot, keeping the heel raised, and then push back to stand at the center. Step backwards, and then bring that foot back towards the center. So all of the time we are applying pressure through that left heel, and that left gluteus will be working as we continuously step back, never quite dropping that right heel. You want to bend forward over that bent knee, ensuring that you stay long in the spine when you step back. So you should be long from the tip of your head all the way down towards the ankle of that foot that's stepping backwards. You can raise your hands up into a prayer position if it's available to you. If this is making it wobbly, you can keep your hands by your hips. Continue the step backs here and make this next one your last one. Here we're going to hold And now we are going to lunge down by bringing that right leg down to the ground, bringing it up and back to center. So we're adding in a lunge into the movement. The same movement as before, but with the addition of a lunge. So we should be feeling a build-up of pressure in that left glute and that left thigh. We are pushing down on that left heel through that block. So that's where all of our energy for the movement is coming from. All the while we are keeping our gaze slightly ahead of us so that we are long through the crown of the head all the way down towards the lower back and that extended leg. Only a couple more. Just 3 more here. Keep going and make sure you use your breath. 2 more here. And on this last one, we're going to hold down in the lunge and straighten back up. So no more step backs, we are just focusing on lunging here, remembering not to let that bent knee go in front of the foot. And we add in the arms. Every time we bend down, reach forward with long fingers, bringing those arms overhead, lowering them as we stand. We have a few more here. Keep going. Keep extending with those arms. Now on the next one, can we hold at the bottom? And what we're going to do now is pulse, very small pulses, making sure we have quick, sharp breaths to help us with the movement. We're not here for very long. And final layer of this movement, are you able to lean forward over that bent leg and then bring yourself back down towards a lunge? So leaning forward, and I know this is going to be burning in that left gluteus. We're not here for very long. And lean backwards. So keeping all of that pressure in that left heel in that block. We're pushing that block away. Keep going. And this is going to be your last one. Bend forward and then backwards and then stand up. Well done. Woo, I felt that. Glutes are on fire. And we get to do that all over again on the opposite side. So make sure you change feet. If you were pressing from your left, now make sure you change towards your right. And as before, you want to make sure that the heel of your foot is firmly placed on the block. We're going to start with our step backs. So making sure we press down on that right foot, step back with the left foot, making sure you keep that heel off the ground. As previously, you want to keep the torso long and you want to lean forward. So imagine that there's a long line being drawn from the lower back all the way up the back towards the crown of your head. Keep the gaze slightly in front of you so that you can maintain that length in the crown of your head. And remember, try to make sure that knee doesn't go over the toes. Keep going here. Continue to work on your range of motion. We have 2 more here. On this next one, we're going to introduce the lunge. So we're going to step back and then we'll lunge and then bring everything back forwards again. Step back, lunge, bring yourself back up and back to center. All the while pressing down through that right heel into the block. You'll feel the pressure building now in the glutes and in that thigh. Make sure you use your breath. As before, if it's available to you, you can bring your arms either in front of you into a prayer position, or you can lengthen them as you step back, lengthening your arms forward. These are our last few. Can you make them your best few? Using your breath and extending as far as you can with the fingertips. And now what we're going to do is stay in the lunges. Continue to press down through that heel that is on the block and lunge. Keep going here. Slight tilt forward over that bent knee. You can bring in the arms as well if that's available to you. Last two now. And on the next one, keeping that leg long behind you, we're going to lean forward over the bent leg and then straighten up by bending that back leg. So you want to straighten that back leg and then you want to bend it to bring yourself back upright. We're only here for a few, we're nearly done. Making sure we use our breath and not rushing through the movement, taking our time. You should be feeling this in that right thigh and right gluteus. Almost there. I know you can feel that build up there of tension, but we're nearly done. And this is the last one. And bring yourself up to standing. Excellent work. I felt that. Ooh. You can give your bum a little bit of a tap just to release any tension that's built up. And now we're going to lay down on the mat on our back. Once you're ready, lengthen your arms out overhead and we're going to go into a roll up, breathing in and then out, exhaling as you roll up and extend the arms, flexing the feet and reaching as far forward as possible. Try and bring your heart down towards your thighs. Rolling back, vertebra by vertebra, lower back first, mid back and then the upper back. Extend the arms overhead, deep breath in, exhale and we go again. Lifting up, upper, mid, then lower spine, extending forwards to flexed feet and rolling back, making sure the lower, then the middle, and then the upper back touch the ground. Keep going here. And we have one more roll back, taking our time, and then extending those arms up overhead. And we are done. So what we'll do now is bring that block and place it between your thighs. You can do this without the block as well. And this is just to give us some tactile feedback and work those inner thighs. Bringing your hands behind your head and clasping them together. We're going to raise the head up off the ground, looking between the thighs and go into an abdominal crunch. Exhale to raise, inhale to lower. Now remember not to push your chin into your chest. You want to make sure your head is heavy into your hands. Keep your gaze looking upwards towards the top of your thighs and making sure you exhale. On the next one, bring your knees up as well into the crunch and then you can lower them back down. If it's too much of a strain on your lower back, bringing your legs down, you can keep them in tabletop and just crunch them in towards you as you lift yourself up. So the options are either bringing your feet back down after you've done the crunch, or if that causes any pressure or tension in your lower back, keeping your legs in tabletop and just crunching in and out in a seesaw motion. Keep going here, ensuring that you're not rushing through the movement, and make sure you work with that breath. Exhale every time you bring everything up close together. And can you bring your knees closer to your elbows? Can you crunch yourself that bit smaller? Next one, keep everything closed together. Can you extend your legs and then bring them back down into a tabletop? So all the while you're still looking up towards your thighs, but you're just straightening and bending those legs. See if you can do this. If it's not available to you, you can continue with the crunch, but we're only here for a very short while. Lower everything down, well done. So you want to keep your Pilates block or a pillow, whatever you've been using. We're going to place that on top of our shins. So putting our feet into tabletop position, we're going to place the block on top of our shins, lifting our head up off the ground, staring between the thighs. We're now just going to work on trying to straighten and bend the legs. And of course, because the block is there, it's forcing us to do this in a controlled manner, not rushing, and also keeping everything even in terms of your balance side to side. Exhale when you're extending the legs. If you're feeling this in your lower back, then you can lift your legs slightly higher rather than trying to bring them low down. Inhale to bring everything back in. And again, pressing your head into your hands so that you can provide some support for your neck. And well done. That's all there. You can now move the block away and extend your legs. We can take a nice stretch here. Make sure you take very deep breaths in and out through the mouth, in through the nose. Try and make sure you're breathing in towards your back, into those sides. And keeping our Pilates block handy, we're now going to use it in a little bit more fun exercise, essentially a scissor, but with the block passing through the legs. So lengthen one leg up towards the ceiling, and then we'll want to have the other leg diagonally down in front of you. Lift your head up off the floor and scissor your legs whilst passing the block in between. If this is causing a lot of tension to build up in your neck, then you can rest your head down and do it with bent legs. It's obviously a little bit harder to get the block through, but this is an alternative if you're struggling with straight legs and your head lifted. But if it's available to you, keep going. Last two here, and last one. Well done. You can rest your head down on the mat. I also find it's a very nice stretch if you just raise your hips up off the ground and just release any tension that may have built up in that back or lower spine. Now for the next exercise, we will be needing your block again, if you have one, and placing your foot on the block. And again, it's important that your heel is on the block, bringing it slightly closer towards your bum so you can just about feel it with your fingertips. We're going to go into a bridge, which means raising our hips up off the ground. Rolling up again into a bridge. Make sure you're pressing down on that left heel. And as you lift up, think about lifting your lower back, your mid back, and then your upper back. And when you lower, lower from the top, then the middle, and then the lower back. It's nice to exhale as you lift up, and you can inhale as you lower everything back down towards the mat. Now your arms are down by your side as you're doing this. You want to make sure your shoulders are away from your ears. You can press gently down into the mat, keeping your gaze upwards. Now to advance this exercise, can we lift the right leg up off the ground? So this leg has been supporting us. Can we lift it up as we lift up into the bridge? That means all of the work now is being done solely by that left leg. You don't have to go very high. It's not about how high you can go. Just making sure we're lifting the glutes up off the mat. And because I'm me, you know I'm going to add on a little bit of spice before we end this exercise. So bringing your arms up by your head, can you hold in the position up and just lengthen and bend that top leg? If it's available to you, you can twist towards that leg, or you can extend the arm out and lower it. But we're just holding with that left leg and extending and bending the right leg. And for the last few, we're going to extend the arm out. Keep going with the same motion with the leg, extending and bringing the leg in towards the center. And with a straight arm, reach overhead. Of course, if this is too much, you can rest your arm down and just focus on the leg. You're probably wondering how many left. Just 3. Keep going. Keep those hips raised. And on the last one, we are going to hold it at the top, and you may have guessed short pulses. Lift, 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 lift. Very short pulses at the top. We're not here for very long at all. Final burn and lower yourself down to the mat. Well done. Hug those knees in towards the chest and just release any tension in that glute. And once you've taken a short rest here and stretched out those legs, you can move the block to the opposite side where we'll be placing our heel on the block. As before, if you do not have a block, you can do this with your feet on the ground. Alternatively, a large, heavy textbook will work as well. When we're ready, we're going to inhale, exhale, and raise those hips up towards the ceiling. Remembering we want to move the lower back, the mid back, and then the upper back up. We also want to make sure we don't lift the hips too high so that we're not arching into that lower back too much. Continuing here and remembering to place the palms of the hands flat down on the mat. And we're now going to get ready to raise that left leg up off the ground so that we're only pushing through that right heel. You can keep the leg bent at the knee as I'm demonstrating. If it's available to you, you can straighten that leg, pointing your toes towards the ceiling. Continuing here, pressing up through that heel and lowering yourself back down. Remembering to take your time and also remembering to move from lower back to mid back to upper back. You'll be feeling that tension building up now, that lactic acid in that glute and the back of that thigh. It's all working. Push through it. Challenge yourself. Surprise yourself. Now we're going to get ready for our pulses. This time I rested my foot just below my knee. You can do as you wish, but we're pulsing now. Remember, short, sharp pulses at the top, exhaling as you pulse. Go up, up, up. Nearly done. We're not here for long. And lower everything down. Well done. This is extremely brief because we're going to go back up and we're going to go into our leg extend and back to center. As before, you can stretch that arm on the opposite side to the leg. And if you're feeling like you have a bit more energy today, you can use both arms. Now this is harder and it does destabilize the center a bit more. So just see how you go. Even just using one arm is a lot of work. And as I said before, for the regression, you can keep your palms down on the mat. So keep both arms down if this is too much. We are nearly done. One more. And lower everything back down to the mat. Well done. You can move the block out of the way. And we are slowly going to roll ourselves back up to seating. And then we're going to stand actually and end this leg series just with a few squats. With these squats, we'll have our heels elevated. So press your heels against the block. And this just means we work the front of the leg more. So with the heels up, balls of the feet down on the ground, we will lower ourselves down, bringing our hips just above hip height. And as you can see, I'm separating the knees slightly for this set. Take your time, making sure you breathe as you go through the movement. Extend your arms straight out in front of you as you lower and bring them back towards your sides as you stand up. We have a few more here. Keep going and try and make sure you don't rush through the squat, taking the same amount of time to go down as you do to go up. We're on our last few here now. Last one. And you know me by now. We're holding at the bottom for the next one and we are going to pulse. Breathing through that. Use your breath to help you. We're not pulsing for very long. Keep yourself low as you can. making sure you use that exhale breath, and back up. Well done. So our feet were facing outwards for this set of pulses. The next one we'll have our feet facing straight ahead and closer together, so our knees are going to go forwards. I'm going to turn to the side so I can just demonstrate this better for you. But you want your feet facing forwards, not outwards as they were previously. And we'll take an inhale and exhale and lower down. As you can see, I'm really trying to get into my range of motion here. So try and sit back as far as you can. You have the block there that's helping. See how low you can go and see how well you can hold the pace, not rushing through. Sink yourself low, and again we are extending straight arms and reaching as far forward as we can with the fingertips, using our breath to help us through the movement. You shouldn't be holding your breath here. Really feeling that energy build up in those thighs. We have 2 more. And you know what it is. It's pulse time. Here we go. Short pulses. We're not here for long. Going to call me the Pulse Princess now. Let's go. And straighten back up. I told you it was very short. Woo! I felt this in my legs. Definitely. I hope you did as well. We're going to take a little stretch now, and I think it's really important that you do because we've worked so hard. So bringing that foot over the opposite knee and doing a figure 4 stretch. So bringing your hands between the gap and pulling the knee towards your chest. Feel that stretch in the back of your thigh and in your glutes. Take a few deep breaths here and then swap sides. Threading your hand in through the gap, just pull that thigh towards you and feel the stretch in the back of the leg. As you take deep breaths, you can see if you can pull the thigh closer to you and release. Sitting up now, I want you to bring your legs flat down on the mat and spread them wide. So try and think you're bringing them to the opposite corners of the room. You're going to sit up high on your sit bones and taking a deep breath in and then out, extend your arm, opposite arm to the opposite foot. Pulse there for a moment and swap sides. Exhale as you extend. Think about bringing your chest down towards your thigh. Reach forward with that top hand and reach backwards with the opposite hand. And we are done. Well done. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you for the next class. Bye.